Uh-oh, is our Super Bowl Radio Row correspondent there? Taylor Lewan of Bussin' with the Boys, who I believe is out on Radio Row, is here with us now on 104.5 The Zone. Good morning.
Good morning, Buck Reising. How are you? Are you in Nashville, Tennessee, or are you here in Arizona?
No, I'm back at home. I didn't go this year.
Woof. Didn't go this year or didn't get an invite? Which one?
I was invited. I declined.
Wow. Why?
Okay, so here's the thing.
That's a lie, Taylor. He wasn't invited.
I did Super Bowl Radio Row last year, all right? And at the time, I was in L.A. I was on at 8 a.m. in the morning because of the time change. There was nobody on Radio Row. It was literally me and Kirby, the engineer, sitting by ourselves in a convention hall. So I said, it's not the biggest deal in the world for me to go.
Liar.
Buck, let me just tell you something, buddy. If you want to be serious about your craft and where you want to go in your life, you'll take any and every interview possible. That's what I'm doing out here right now. I'm out here grinding with the boys, crushing podcasts, doing what we got to do. And so I just, proof's in the pudding, buddy. Work ethic, it means everything.
Work ethic means everything. Hey, by the way, 200 by Super Bowl, it's a real thing. It's going to happen. What do I feel like I should get something from you for bullying me on the internet into losing all that weight.
That literally just goes in the narrative I've been spouting off about you, bud. You owe the process everything. The process owes you nothing. That's what you need to focus on, brother. Life is not about getting rewarded. It's about rewarding yourself and being okay with who you are. I'm proud of Buck Reising. For the individuals listening on the show, I fat shame Buck Reising. You can be mad at me for it. You don't have to be. You can be. It doesn't change my opinion. Buck was fat. Now, have I saved Buck's life? That's for you guys to decide.
Many people are saying
Buck
this.
is now looking somewhat fantastic.
So honestly,
you do look good.
I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. You, by the way, you're going to weigh as much as I do if you keep losing weight. What are you at right now?
I am at a comfortable 272 right now. And so I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's done. He's this. I was at 272 last time around with the ACL, so I'm very confident in my ability to gain my weight back. I feel like I'm like the opposite of Patty the Batty. Like instead of getting super fat between my seasons, I'm just getting super skinny, and I'll just bring it back.
I feel like that's a good role to be in. So tell me about your Radio Row experience. You obviously there was a whole debate as to whether you would even be permitted to go on to Radio Row because of Barstool, but given two active NFL players being the ones who are driving this, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, Tuesday for a little bit because literally I've been getting up in the morning, 6 a.m., hitting a workout, and I'm not home until 7 p.m. So it's been just an absolute blur of a week. It's gone by fast, but it's been very, very, very busy. So we go to Radio Row. It's Tuesday. The earlier in the week's always a little bit lighter. Right now, the Thursday, Friday, that's when things really start to ramp up a bit. But it was cool. I had a conversation with PFF. That was my first conversation. I told them that they're not a liable source of being able to rate players. It makes zero sense to me. They gave me their case, and I think it was a very constructive and good conversation. However, I don't know how much I believe them after the conversation. Talked to NFL Europe, was on Fox, NFL Network. It was a very cool experience. And so people that do have the opportunity out here and do get the invite, I believe should come because it is not only great for bringing out your brand, but it's also great from a networking perspective as well.
Well, but that sounds. I read Jimmy Wyatt this morning. Are you in fact networking with all these networks?
There are conversations being had, Buck. There are conversations being had on both sides of the fence. I had that conversation with Jim last night, and as I do on this show right now, I was talking this way where I kind of just keep saying things, and it's like, what am I actually saying? I really don't even know what I'm saying right now. So Jim is an incredible individual. He was a beat writer when I first got to the Tennessee Titans and has found himself a nice job with the Tennessee Titans. And I think he does a phenomenal job. I have not read the article yet. I am not retiring from the NFL. I am not committed to playing the NFL. I am truly in a position of limbo, and I am truly in a position of peace right now. And I say that because I really feel like I'm in a win-win situation. I'm very lucky to be partnered up with Will Compton and do Bussin' with the Boys. I'm very lucky to these other networks that would like to have me on their shows. But also, the only reason why I've had these opportunities is because of football, and I absolutely love football. And I told Jim, I don't know if he wrote this in the article, if I choose to play football next year, if I decide that I'm going to play in the NFL again, I'm going to give it 100% because there is no in and out, especially when you play offensive line. If you play offensive line and you're half in, half out, you look like a damn fool, and you can get exposed very easily. I take so much pride in the career that I've been able to have up to this point, and I would not go back to play just to make a couple extra bucks. I would do it to help a team, help the Titans, help a different team, whichever it is, take the next step in their franchise.
Titans left tackle Taylor Lewan is here with us on 104.5 The Zone. Go check out Bussin' with the Boys if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, rate, and review. They're pumping out a bunch of great content on their social media platforms, and the interviews that they're doing at Radio Row will soon follow. Best conversation you've had on Radio Row with Bussin'?
I would say one that truly interests me, and we've had an onslaught of guys. We had Max Homa, who's currently in the waste management right now, just won, I believe, the State Farm Insurance. All I know is the bag was about $8.7 million. So he's doing all right in life. We had Max Homa on. He's incredible. Dana White, we were privileged enough to have Dana White on our podcast, which will come out soon. And I think the guy is a business genius. You can think whatever you want about him, from how he goes about things and all that, and the stuff with his wife. He seems like a guy that attacks things head on and is a very interesting conversation to have. And then yesterday, we had Burt Kreischer and Shane Gillis, two top comedians that have shows out here in Arizona. I'm actually going to go to their show tonight, who are friends of us, with us and the podcast. Just incredible, just hilarious. And then right after that, Christian McCaffrey. So today's a busy day as well. I got Fred Warner in the next 20 minutes. And then Jeffree Star, of all people, is flying into Arizona just to come on Bussin' with the Boys.
That's not why he's flying into Arizona. It's not just to come on the podcast. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, well, listen, I just spent a week in Wyoming with him. What else does he want from me?
Apparently, he didn't get enough. I want to ask you about Dana White, though, because that Dana White is on Radio Row, and that's a fascinating dynamic for me. What is the conversation between you and Will? Was there any discussion as to whether or not you should have Dana White on? I'm just not that there's a right or wrong answer here, but I think that is a conversation that a lot of media entities are currently having.
I think that's a huge reason why the mainstream media is having a more difficult time right now. Listen, the reason why you're asking me that question is because of what happened on New Year's Eve with his wife in Mexico.
Correct.
I will tell you right now, we did not ask questions about that. And the reason why we did not ask questions about that, he's already came out and addressed that situation. Is it wrong what he did? Yes. Did he come out and say it was wrong what he did? He didn't dance around it. He said his apology. Him and his wife has worked out the situation. He's done that portion. And so human beings, mammals, are the only things in life that truly make a mistake and then keep beating themselves up over it. If a dog poops in your house, you punish them, you move out. 15 minutes later, that dog forgets it ever happened, and it is the happiest damn thing in the entire world. So Dana is interesting to talk to, how he handles himself. People make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made a mistake. You've made a mistake. That's how this world works. So now I get an opportunity to sit with him, talk about his Power Slap League, which is, buddy, you want to talk about what America and people are consuming now. You can't keep people's attention spans past 15 seconds. He's got Power Slap League, which is going to turn into this massive, massive conglomerate for him, because it truly is 15 seconds of watching dudes get absolutely KO'd. And it's amazing. I'm about to go through a tunnel, so I might have some issues, but we can keep this thing going. That's what I have to say about Dana White. There was no conversation ever of whether or not we should have him on.
Okay. Well, listen, that's as clean a jumping off point. I'm at the end of my segment anyway. Enjoy Arizona. I know that's home base for you. I know it's been a great time out there already. People, check out the Bussin' with the Boys social media accounts for all the behind-the-scenes work and, of course, the interviews from Radio Row you will soon see in your podcast feed. Thanks for being our Super Bowl correspondent, my guy.
Buddy, and congratulations to you on becoming better looking in the year of 2022 and losing all that weight. I'm proud of you.
Oh, you can't imagine how much that means to me. Taylor Lewan there with us on 104.5 The Zone.